It's time for news on Luntha Television with me, Charita Chilanka. First, let's have a look at the top stories. Pope Leo XIV says the liturgy leads the faithful back to what is essential. Government pledges to tackle economic crisis as stakeholders back a roadmap aimed at reviving Malawi's economy. Center for Multi-Party Democracy urges early electoral reforms ahead of 2030 elections. And in other news, Democratic Republic of Congo airport reopens in Ebola-hit area as suspected cases drop. We do have the details to these and many other stories. Stay tuned. Pope Leo XIV has emphasized the importance of the liturgy in helping believers rediscover what is essential in their relationship with God, highlighting the role of rites, signs and symbols and drawing people closer to Christ. During his weekly general audience at the Vatican, the Holy Father continued his catechism on the documents of the Second Vatican Council, reflecting on the constitution of the Sacred Liturgy, Sacrosanctum Concilium, promulgated in 1963. We have a Vatican News reporter reading our studios by Tande Zumara.
Pope Leo XIV said that in a busy world, the liturgy provides a sacred pause that helps believers reconnect with God and experience Christ's love. Reflecting on Sacrosanctum Concilium, the first document of the Second Vatican Council, he noted its liturgical reforms, including the use of local languages and greater participation by the faithful. He emphasized that liturgical rites are not merely ceremonies but channels of God's grace, shaping believers' spiritual lives and helping them recognize God's presence. The Pope encouraged active participation with body, mind, and heart, explaining that the liturgy forms Christians through prayers, thanksgiving, worship, and communion. While liturgical rites may seem restrictive in a culture that values spontaneity, Pope Leo said they guide believers toward what is essential. He also highlighted the importance of liturgical signs and symbols such as water, kneeling, and the sign of peace, which communicates spiritual realities and deepen faith. Concluding, he urged the faithful to embrace and preserve the beauty of the liturgy, describing it as a powerful means of fostering a deeper encounter with God.
Members of the Uganda Matters Malawi chapter in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe have been urged to emulate the faith and perseverance of the Uganda Matters despite the challenges they face in their daily lives. Father David Nwagaba made the call as he presided over the Uganda Matters celebrations held at Luntha TV Chapel in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe. Emmanuel Jocha reports.
Delivering his homily, Father Nwagaba described the commemoration as an important occasion for the Church to remember and celebrate the witness of the Uganda Martyrs. He encouraged members of the Uganda Martyrs in Malawi chapter not to be discouraged by the failure to travel to Namgongo, Uganda for this year's pilgrimage following the Ebola outbreak. He emphasized the need for the members to remain firm in their faith and trust in God despite the challenges they encounter in their workplaces, businesses, and personal lives, drawing inspiration from the unwavering faith of the Uganda Martyrs.
Every year we do this celebration. In my homily during Mass, I encouraged people to emulate the Ugandan Martyrs because they faced persecution and they never gave up. In our daily life, we meet this persecution. There is nothing good that comes out of nothing. There are principles we have to make every day for us to be really witnesses of God.
Chairperson of the Uganda Martyrs Malawi chapter in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe, Keta Mwaluweni, said the celebration provided an opportunity for the members to reflect on the sacrifice made by the Uganda Martyrs and strengthen their faith as they face various challenges in life.
This is a very, very important message to us. As a group, as Friends of Uganda Matters, we try to emulate the footsteps of the Uganda Martyrs. We all know what they went through, and we also look at the life today as the way we are living, the way things are.
Catholics commemorate the Uganda Martyrs in honor of the faith, courage, and sacrifice of the 22 Catholics and 23 Anglican convents who were killed between 1885 and 1887 during the reign of Kabaka Mwanga II after refusing to renounce their Christian faith. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Juocha.
Government has expressed optimism that Malawi's proposed National Economic Recovery Plan will help restore economic stability and create opportunities for growth, following a consultative forum that brought together stakeholders from various sectors. Speaking on Wednesday in Lilongwe at Bingu International Convention Center, Minister of Finance, Economic Affairs and Decentralization Joseph Mwanamveka said the consultation process has generated valuable ideas and recommendations that will be incorporated into the final recovery plan before it is presented to the cabinet. We have more details in this report, followed by Adams Mwene Lubembe.
Mwanamveka said the plan seeks to address major economic challenges facing the country, including public debt, low revenue mobilization, foreign exchange shortages, inflation, and high borrowing costs. The minister described foreign exchange scarcity as the country's most pressing challenge, saying resolving it would ease pressure across the economy. He added that government also intends to tackle money supply issues, reduce inflation, and create an environment that enables businesses to access affordable financing and expand operation.
That I'm very happy that at least we have achieved what we wanted to achieve of this. We had this National Economic Recovery Consultation Forum, and to me it has been successful because we have received a lot of comments, ideas, which will go back, polish them, and make sure that they are incorporated in the final document that's going to be presented.
Meanwhile, National Planning Commission Director General Frederick Jangaya says the recovery plan demonstrates government's commitment to getting the economy back on track. He said the plan is grounded in realistic assessment of Malawi's economic situation and remains aligned with the country's long-term development blueprint, Malawi 2063. He has urged Malawians to actively participate in the implementation of both the recovery plan and Malawi 2063, stressing that economic transformation requires collective effort and patriotism.
One, it is giving us a background. Two, it is giving us how we should go forward. So I will share with you how we have worked on NEB in terms of the solutions going forward. What we have done is we have looked at how can
Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry Chief Executive Officer Daisy Kabalami has welcomed the initiative, saying the plan provides a clear framework for addressing the country's economic challenges. Kabalami says the private sector is encouraged by government's recognition of the obstacles facing businesses and emphasis being placed on partnership and accountability. As consultations continue, the government hopes the National Economic Recovery Plan will provide a roadmap for restoring economic confidence, stimulating investment, and improving the lives of Malarians. Reporting for Luntha Television, this is Adams Mwenelupembe.
The Center for Multiparty Democracy (CMD) has urged political parties and aspiring candidates to raise electoral concerns early to help improve transparency, credibility and fairness in future elections. CMD Chairperson Ben Jakame made the remarks during the Malawi Electoral Commission Make Review meeting on the 2025 general elections held in Lilongwe and attended by various electoral stakeholders. More details in this report followed by Gift Kalonga.
Jakame emphasized the need for political parties to improve information sharing and proper handovers whenever leadership changes occur within their structures. He further highlighted concerns surrounding the use of technology, voter registration, civic education, and coordination among electoral stakeholders, saying such issues require collective agreement and stronger collaboration ahead of future elections.
There is this post-mortem and reflection and to see which reform areas can be considered for the Malawi Electoral Commission as we journey towards 2030 general elections. I was emphasizing to all political parties and those people aspiring to contest maybe as independents to say this is the time that we bring up issues that we think can help our elections in 2030.
MEC Chairperson Justice Annabel Mtalimanja said the ongoing stakeholder engagements are aimed at identifying strengths and weaknesses in the 2025 general election to help guide future administrative and legal reforms ahead of the 2030 electoral cycle.
The series of these meetings, we're going to have a conference with all the stakeholders where we're going to deliberate on all the findings from the stakeholders, and this will culminate into a report of the 2025 general election. But also it's going to inform whatever administrative and legal reforms that the Commission is going to put in place in liaison and consultations with all the relevant stakeholders.
Meanwhile, the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC said the review process will continue until the end of June as it engages various stakeholders who participated in the 2025 general election, with legal reform recommendations expected to require wider consultations and parliamentary approval. End report.
The government has pledged to sustain and scale up an innovative energy access initiative that has improved access to clean energy and solar energy solutions for more than 170,000 people in rural communities across the country. Minister of Energy Jean Matanga made the remarks on Wednesday during the closing event of the Energizing Development and Demand-Side Subsidies and Results-Based Financing Pilot Project implemented by GIZ with funding from the Government of the Netherlands in partnership with Self-Help Africa and Kumu Microfinance Limited. More details in this report being read in our studios by Robert Kalindiza.
Kaunda said technologies such as drones are helping to improve efficiency in agriculture operations by reducing the time required to apply fertilizers.
Republic of Congo Airport reopens in Ebola.
In her remarks, Matanga said government remains committed to sustaining the project, emphasizing that lessons learned during the pilot phase will inform future expansion and help address gaps identified during implementation. She added that private sector participation will be critical in increasing rural energy access from the current 24.5% to the government's target of 70% by 2030, describing energy as a key driver of industrialization and the attainment of Malawi 2063 development goals.
Is to make sure that we learn those lessons and make sure that we use them as we go into the next phase. So if there are any mistakes, we make sure that we correct them. And if there are areas that we need to upscale, we make sure that we do that. And the most important aspect that we've built into this, that is in this project, is that there is a private sector participation. Because of that participation, we are sure that we'll be able to reach out to as many people as possible. As you all know, that currently accessibility of energy to the rural sector is about 24.5%. But it is the wish of government that at least come 2030, we should do upscale at least to 70%. So with the participation of the private sector, we are sure that this is like a driver. They'll seek to do more, create more, and they'll be able to reach out to as many people as possible.
German ambassador to Malawi, Ute Konig, noted that while the pilot project was successful, stakeholders must reflect on lessons and challenges as they consider scaling up energy access programs, and reaffirmed government's continued support for Malawi's energy sector and regional power connectivity initiatives, including the Malawi-Mozambique Interconnector project.
So with this project, we now have better access in poor communities, and this has shown the pilot was successful. But today at this closing event, we are also looking at lessons learned, what challenges remain, in order to decide about the future of scaling up and how to continue this. Germany is committed to support the energy access programs by the Malawi government. Germany is also supporting the interconnector between Malawi and Mozambique, so this is part of our longer-term engagement with Malawi. GIZ NDEF has been active in Malawi for 20 years now and has reached and impacted the life of many, many Malawians. So we are glad for the successful partnership we had, and this shows that collaboration and good cooperation can really make a difference.
Self-Help Africa Country Director Kate Hartley-Lewis said the program faced liquidity challenges among participating companies, which affected supply of products to rural communities, but added that a financing mechanism was introduced to provide upfront payments to improve stock availability and expand distribution of subsidized solar and clean cooking technologies to underserved households.
To make sure that the companies are liquid, they have the money in advance in order to maximise sales to rural communities that would otherwise be left out of the market because they can't afford these products that are available.
The NDEV program, implemented over a pilot phase of results-based financing and demand-side subsidies value at 4.8 million euros, reached over 112,000 people with improved cook stoves and 58,000 people with solar energy products across Nkata Bay, Balaka, Salima, Dedza, Nzimba, Dowa, and Kasungu districts. The initiative focused on increasing access to affordable clean energy solutions such as solar lamps and improved cook stoves, targeting poor rural households through private sector participation and subsidy support to bridge affordability gaps.
Lilongwe University of Agriculture and Natural Resources Luana has said the future of Malawi's agriculture sector lies in the use of digital technologies capable of providing farmers with real-time solutions to challenges affecting productivity. Speaking after Information, Communication and Technology Minister Shadrack Namalumba visited Luana Bonda campus on Tuesday in Lilongwe, Vice-Chancellor Professor Emmanuel Kaunda said the university is embracing innovative technologies aimed at transforming agriculture through faster, data-driven and efficient service delivery to farmers. Constance Kantemini reports.
Kaunda said technologies such as drones are helping to improve efficiency in agriculture operations by reducing the time required to apply fertilizers and pesticides, while also assisting in crop monitoring, soil analysis, and field mapping. He further said Luntha is generating evidence-based research and projections to help government make informed decisions on agriculture programs and climate-related challenges, including preparations for El Nino and other factors affecting food production.
As you also saw and what the minister saw, we are in an era of transformation. And what we are seeing from our people is that every day, as technology is developing, Luntha is not left behind. We are developing or using technologies which are not just technologies as their own, but it is for transformation of the agriculture sector.
In his remarks, Minister of Information, Communication and Technology Shadrack Namalomba challenged Luntha to ensure that innovations developed within the institution move beyond laboratories and reach farmers and communities who need them most. Namalomba said government is committed to supporting the establishment of a digital center of excellence at Luntha to accelerate innovation, support technology development, and help commercialize locally developed solutions for nation development.
It's an awesome experience that we've had here at Luntha. Luntha is our university transforming agriculture. And as you are aware, agriculture, productivity and commercialization is the first pillar in the Malawi 2063. As we get to Malawi 2063, our visualizing that we are going to be a self-reliant upper middle income country.
During the visit, the minister toured the Luntha Emirates Call Center, Luntha FM radio station, digital laboratories, and training facilities. He also witnessed demonstrations of drone technology used for field mapping, crop monitoring, disease detection, and precision application of agriculture inputs. For Luntha News, this is Constance Kamtemin.
In the news from across the borders, the SOA Airport providing humanitarian organizations access to the epicenter of an Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, reopened on Tuesday when the reported number of suspected cases declined. The country of 100 million people declared on May 15th that it was battling a major epidemic of the highly contagious hemorrhagic fever, prompting the World Health Organization to issue an international health alert. We have an African news reporter read in our studios by Alison Panda.
Out of 321 confirmed cases of infection, 48 deaths have been recorded, according to the Congolese health authorities and the World Health Organization. 15 cases, including one death, have also been reported in neighboring Uganda, according to the Ugandan Ministry of Health. On Tuesday, the World Health Organization reported that the number of suspected cases has declined to 116 from 906 late last week, based on information provided by the Congolese authorities. A report released on Friday by the African Union's health agency, Africa CDC, had cited 1,139 suspected cases, including 246 deaths probably caused by the disease. Many patients have been cleared out from the data after having been shown to have other diseases with similar early symptoms or an unlinked fever. The Congolese government, which recently announced the recovery of several patients, has in recent days launched a major communication campaign to assure the public that the situation is under control. In Kenya, violent protests broke out on Monday over an Ebola quarantine facility reserved for U.S. patients arriving from the DRC. Demonstrators voiced anger at the United States using Kenyan soil and bringing Ebola patients into the country. Kenyan President William Ruto defended the facility, saying it was part of the broader national preparedness system, adding that it will be there to serve the people of Kenya and serve our friends, including the Americans. Ebola, which is passed on through close contact and bodily fluids, has killed more than 15,000 people in Africa over the past 50 years. The deadliest outbreak in the DRC claimed nearly 2,300 lives out of 3,500 cases between 2018 and 2020.
With that item, we've also come to the end of our today's bulletin, but let's have another look at the top stories before we go. Pope Leo XIV says the liturgy leads the faithful back to what is essential. Government pledges to tackle economic crisis as stakeholders back a roadmap aimed at reviving Malawi's economy. Center for Multi-Party Democracy urges early electoral reforms ahead of 2030 elections. And in other news, Democratic Republic of Congo airport reopens in Ebola-hit area as suspected cases drop. Now let's get the latest weather update from Mutapiwa Kutakumoto.
Good evening, and it's time for weather forecasts. Cold conditions were experienced over some areas this morning, with Jidede Nilongwe reporting the lowest at 9 degrees Celsius, followed by Kamuzu International Airport in Nilongwe as well, which reported 10 degrees Celsius, while Vumbwe in Cholom reported 11 degrees Celsius. We are currently still expecting partly cloudy conditions to persist over most areas, while clear skies are also expected in some areas, especially over the central as well as the southern part of the country. Cool to cold conditions are also expected to persist over most areas tonight as well as during early morning hours. Foggy conditions are also expected to persist over most areas, especially over the valleys. This is all due to the influence of an easterly air mass coming from the Indian Ocean and influencing these activities over us. This is also why tonight we are still expecting generally partly cloudy conditions to persist over most areas in the central as well as the northern part of the country, while clear skies are expected to persist over the southern part. Similar conditions are also expected tomorrow in the morning hours, accompanied by foggy conditions in some areas as well as occasionally windy conditions. Temperatures are also expected to remain mild tomorrow in the morning hours over most areas such as Ngabu, Sanje, Mangoshi and most parts along the lakeshore, but we should expect cold conditions to persist over most areas in the central and the northern part of the country. Looking into the afternoon hours of tomorrow, we should expect partly cloudy conditions to persist over most areas in the south, the central, as well as the northern part of the country, accompanied by occasional windy conditions. Temperatures are also expected to remain hot tomorrow in the afternoon in some areas such as Ngabu and Isanje at 31 degrees Celsius, 29 over Mangoshi and Monkey Bay, but generally warm conditions are expected over the south, the central, as well as the northern part of the country. Looking into Friday, we should expect partly cloudy conditions to persist over the country, accompanied by occasionally windy conditions as well as cold to cool temperatures at night time and during morning hours. I'm Tapiwa Kutamutu. Be wise, be weatherwise. Been with me, Charity Shilanga. Thanks so much for watching and goodbye.